When they say never Google your symptoms, it's for a very good reason. A very, very, very good reason. For a long time, I was convinced I had ADHD, especially because when you go on TikTok, everybody's describing the experiences, how they were diagnosed, what was happening. And most times it's like things you can relate to. So in my head, I was like, I have ADHD. And I went on a rabbit hole looking for answers. So one time, I think I watched a podcast on the Diary of a CEO, and Steven was hosting Gabor Maté. And so I started looking for his content elsewhere. Then I had him speak of his book that's specifically for ADHD, Scattered Minds. I'm like, I need to find that book. I looked, okay, it's quite on the pricey end in Uganda. So eventually, last weekend, I got the book. Scattered Minds, because it was like, oh my god, I need to get that book, because what the hell, right? And let me just read you a couple of, you need to hear this. Never at rest, the mind of the ADD adult flits about like some deranged bird that can light here or there for a while, but is perched nowhere long enough to make a home, right? And I could so much relate to this, because my brain, I can start one thing, like you start cleaning, then you see something that maybe a piece of paper that or a book that is down, you want to pick it, put it on the shelf, then you reach on the shelf, something else takes your attention, then you see, something is on the floor. Before you know it, you're not cleaning anymore, your brain has been taken elsewhere. Or even with activities. I have this friend called BC Bull who says the only thing I haven't done is give birth to a kid yet, because I have tried everything under the sun. And it's just the way my brain works. Like, it feels like for this amount of time, I'll be very, very interested in a specific thing, and I'll try to do it, and then something else comes. So I've had interest in, oh my god, I am an entrepreneur, I am a humanitarian. It feels like you both choose a side and stick to it. Right? And even when you speak of entrepreneurship, I started with crochets. I used to make scarves, and I was making money, right? Like, people would buy, people would order, especially when I started making them in flags. And you know how people love their national flags and things like that. Then I went into cakes. I would make cakes and I would sell them, and then pastries. And then I went into, what other business? I started selling shoes, I started selling clothes, I started selling books, I started writing books and that, and then there was YouTube. Like, there's even things I have forgotten. Sometimes people reach out to me and it's like, oh, do you still do this? I'm like, oh my god, I had an interest in that, and at some point I was making money out of it, right? And it was crazy. So I can relate to that a lot, where like your brain, you just keep doing different things, right? But here's an important thing, right? Like, reading this book sort of made me realize, well, this is just chapter 1. As I go ahead, I'll still share my other takeaways, right? And I thought this was also very interesting. At times, I have wished that the experts and media pundits who deny the existence of ADHD could meet only a few of the severely, emphasis on severely, right? Like, underline that word. Could meet only a few of the severely affected adults who have sought my help. These men and women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s have never been able to maintain any sort of a long-term job or profession. They cannot easily enter meaningful, committed relationships, let alone stay in one. Oh, God forgive me. Oh, wow. Some have never been able to read a book from cover to cover. Some cannot even sit through a movie. And that's like the point that made me realize, okay, I can read a book from cover to cover, I can sit through a movie, so maybe I'm not that badly off, or maybe I actually don't have ADHD. It's just that I saw a lot of things online that were like, this is a sign of ADHD. And then he goes ahead to share, I will not read it, it's long, a letter that was sent him by someone who has severe ADHD, and he writes like he speaks, right? Like, there's no punctuation, he just writes. It's tasks, like his brain is working at a speed that his hands cannot keep up. And sometimes I feel that way, and I use that to explain my bad handwriting. But that's not true. Okay. And actually, that guy who he was talking to expressed himself in these words, right? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I don't know if I've had that experience, but okay. But here's one part that you really need to hear, right? Passions are graphic about their feeling states, often most lyrical. A 47-year-old man said with discouraged wave of a 47-year-old man said with a discouraged wave of the hand and a smile that was resigned and mischievous at the same time. My life is just so much soup and garbage can. What those words mean exactly, I could not say. Like poetry, they convey their meaning through the feelings and word associations they evoke. Landed in soup, for the steakest soup, soup kitchen, treated like a piece of garbage. I feel like garbage. Images of distress, loneliness, and confusion presented with a tinge of humor. The strangely dissonant imagery tells also of a troubled soul who found reality harsh. So harsh that the mind had to be fragmented in order to fragment the pain. I'm not sure I would say my life is painful, or maybe okay. But yeah, I think reading this sort of gives me the context of like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was, because I can read a book from cover to cover, right? And I can sit through a movie. I might relate to some bit of it, but it's not that bad, you know? Yeah, so I think my biggest takeaway from this is the first reassurance I get is that I'm not as badly off as I thought I would be. Like, I thought I was going to be reading, I was going to be opening the book, and then everything is telling me boom, 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 right? Like, maybe I do, maybe I don't. I will leave that to if I actually have a proper diagnosis of like, yeah, you have ADHD and it was from a professional. But reading this sort of gives me the reassurance that, yeah, ADHD actually can be quite severe. I believe maybe there's like a spectrum, right? There's people that have mild ADHD, medium, and then severe, right? That's why I was saying emphasis on severe. Because when I look at that, it's like, I do not have some of those symptoms. And I hope, I don't know, I'm just going to be sharing some of my perspective over the next coming days of my takeaway from each of the work. Yeah, bye.